Hey beauties, it's D Beauty here, also known as Shyhaze, and I'm back with another video. This video is going to be all about how I actually color this portrait that you guys are seeing. Also, I will be doing the starving artist tag. The starving artist tag has been a tag that I've seen going around YouTube in the artist community, but I haven't seen it in a long time. So I figured, let me just get right into it so that way it's not oversaturated. So definitely what you guys actually see going on right now, I'm using a brown shade, a deep brown shade, which I love, which is most of my portraits. You guys can see that on my art page at dinadesigning, also on my website dinadesigning.com. And I'm going to be using different shades of brown in order to create this portrait. Right now I'm doing the highlights. This will be a lengthier video on how I do this, so definitely just enjoy this. Hope you guys like it, and let's get right into this tag. What's your favorite experience as an artist? My favorite experience is definitely the fact that people love my work. It's like, I remember thinking that people would not love what I put out there, or it just wouldn't be everyone's taste. But honestly, once I got comfortable and once I developed a style that I like and that I've learned and taught myself, a lot of people have been loving what I do. They've been buying it, which is crazy. They've been requesting more. It's a different experience, and I really love it. And it just means so much to me that people really love the work that I'm putting out. And just back on this portrait, I'm blending it out with a flat brush for the smudge tool. And this is how I create a painted realistic look for all of my portraits. A lot of people don't think I'm doing it digitally, but the trick is use a painted brush. The painted brush I'm using again is the flat brush, and I'm just blending out those highlights on team. What's your least favorite experience as an artist? I would say my least favorite experience is thinking that people don't like the work that I am going to put out. Like, I would work on something and then I'll be like, ooh, should I actually upload this? Should I add this to my site? Will people want this? Will people unfollow me because how bad this look? But at the end of the day, as long as I love it, people love it. And that's crazy. Like, it goes back to my favorite experience, me putting out something thinking that people won't like it, but they end up loving it. And again, that's a wonderful experience, but it is hard going back and forth thinking that someone may not like what you put out there. What are your dreams/goals for your art? Before I answer that, just to let you guys know, I'm going more into depth by adding a deeper brown on top of the highlights and on top of the regular skin. You're going to see me go back and forth with this skin. Like, honestly, this is the longest part of me doing anything. It's just making sure that the skin looks right and this looks realistic and it looks like, it just looks real. Like, that's my goal. All right, so going back to the third question, my dreams is honestly for me to be remembered for my art or known for my art. Like, someone look at something and they automatically think, that's Dina, that's D, like, she drew that, like, that's her art. Like, automatically look, like how you could look at an Andy Warhol, or you could look at you could just look at certain art from history and you already know who the artist is. So that is my goal, just to be known for that. Also, what's your favorite medium and why? I used to only draw with paper and with pencil, and that was it. And I did the sketch, and I used to blend it out with tissue. I used to use different blenders and erasers, but not anymore. Like, I'm so in love with using Procreate on my iPad. Oh yeah, let you guys know, I'm using an iPad, I'm using Procreate, and I use an Apple Pencil in order to do all of my illustrations. And that is my favorite medium. These are my favorite things to use. Even when I try to go back to using paper and pencil, if you guys use Procreate, you know that you have to tap twice in order to delete something. I would draw on paper and literally tap twice on the paper thinking I'm using my Procreate, but no, I literally have to erase. If you guys use that, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then I sound crazy as hell right now. So ignore that answer. What inspired you to do art? Why do you love it? What inspired me? I think I don't know. I honestly always loved it, or the fact, let's say, I can't say I always loved it. When I first started drawing, I believe my family used to say my art looks good. In my head, it did not. And the fact that they kept telling me it looked good is the only reason why I always kept drawing. Because they stated that they loved what they saw. So I guess that's what inspired me, just my family. And then going to school for graphic design. And as I got older, going to high school and taking art classes, I started honestly loving art more and more, and loving the color and loving how to use certain things. So that's what really inspired me. And from there, look at me now. Like, I'm just so happy where I'm at right now. And I can't wait to see where it's going to take me in the future. So that's honestly what inspired me. What's the favorite piece you ever made and why it's special? This piece right here is my favorite. I love this piece. It's my favorite because of the contrast in colors. It's my favorite because it was one of the first pieces that went viral. It's one of the first pieces I took my time with. This portrait right here was the first for a lot of things. It was the first one that actually looked like it was painted, where I learned where I taught myself a different technique. From there on, this is where I really wanted to focus on only doing African American pieces, and it just mean a lot to me. Like, this portrait right here is my baby, and it was also inspired by a photo I seen on Pinterest. And then also, this is also, you could see this floating around on Pinterest as well. One of my favorite pieces, honestly. And right now, as you guys can see in this portrait that I'm currently drawing, I am going in and adding more and more deeper tones, just to make sure I add those shadows to the face and to the body. What are your biggest art influences? Pop art. I love pop art. I love the bright colors, the bold colors. That is something you honestly could see in most of my art pieces on Instagram. Again, that's at dinadesigning. And once you really look at my art pieces, you can kind of get a pop art kind of feel. Like, it's kind of inspired by that. But who inspired me? I could say recently, drawing with waffles inspired me. Also, Natalia. I'll leave their information down below in the description. They inspired me to honestly get right. Not Natalia, Natalie, I want to say. They inspired me get right back into art. Seeing their YouTube videos, that's when I was like, yo, I forgot how much I love this. Look at their art. It's so inspiring. They just keep doing what they're doing, and they love what they're doing. And from there, I went ahead. I bought my iPad. I bought my pencil. And then, let y'all know, Procreate, this is not sponsored by them. No type of way. I wish it was, but it wasn't. Procreate, you pay for it once. I think it was like $10. And from there on, you could just use this whenever you want. Like, it's just the best app. You could add your own brushes. You could add your own colors. You could add your own fonts. And yes, you could add fonts in this now. There was a time when you couldn't use fonts with it, but you can. Create different layers. If you use Photoshop or if you use Illustrator to draw, I really think you should try out Procreate. It's definitely something that's worth it. What did you learn from being a full-time artist? I learned that you need to have time. You will get a lot of people asking a lot of things. For instance, I mostly draw portraits, but I still get questions. Can you draw this or that for me? And it'll be the most random things ever. I think when people find out that you're an artist or you're a full-time artist, they think you could literally draw every single thing, but they don't understand that you specialize in something. So I could get people saying, "Can you draw a turtle on a duck's back?" Saying Yahoo. Like, it would be the most random things that don't relate to what I draw at all. And that's one of the things I learned from letting people know that I am an artist or being a full-time artist. Also, it can be tiring just having to do so many commissions. I still do work a regular job, and then on top of that, I still have to handle orders with my store. So it's so many different things that I am doing at once, and I'm just trying to focus. So it can be a lot, but at the end of the day, it's all worth it to know that people love what you're doing, and that you love what you're doing, and you're doing something that's just genuine. So that's what I learned, and those are honestly the things I love, because it is funny. Even though people tell me to draw these random things, I actually love their requests, because it's something I would never think of. What do your family and friends think about you being an artist? Like I said, my family always said my art was good. So even now, they're like, I went from them thinking my art is good to them saying my art is professional, that I'm actually professional. So it's like, it's crazy just to hear them say these different words. I mean, like, they still say my art is good, but professional to me is just a whole different level. Like, I mean, I'm up there, you know? So it's different when you got family and friends just supporting you, and friends sharing your work and helping you actually get clientele. It's a great feeling. Let's just take a break from these questions, and let's go back into this art piece that I'm doing here. This art piece, it took me a while to finish this, but I think I did pretty good. It took me about 2 hours to actually get into this without taking any breaks. Normally it could take me probably 3 to 4 hours, or I think I was on this took a little bit longer. I want to say probably because I was trying to screen record this at the same time, and I had to keep checking if the screen record was recording. But let's say I'm not doing anything, then yeah, it could take me a little bit faster to actually do something like this. But 3 to 4 hours if I was adding different hues like reds and blues and yellows, just to make this look even more realistic. If you guys want to see a video on that, I could definitely post that either sooner or later. Just something more realistic, and that's something I love doing, is when I add those different colors. This one is just something simple, just so you guys can see how I turn a blank sketch into something kind of realistic. But back to these questions. And y'all, it's 20 questions in this, and we are now up to 11. So let's get these questions out the way. What advice can you give to people who want to be more artistic or creative? Definitely think outside the box. Do something that you're not comfortable with. Do something that's totally new to you. Again, going back to one of the questions before, what I actually did instead of sketching was use color. I used to be so scared to add color to anything because I thought the colors wouldn't look right, or that it would just be tacky. But look at your girl. I'm out here doing these portraits, and I have people who love my color. My pictures on Instagram with color get way more love than my pictures as just regular sketches. So definitely do something that's out the box. Do something that you'll end up loving. And again, you wouldn't know that you love anything unless you actually do it. So definitely step outside the box. Were you supported to pursue art as a child? Yes, and yes. Like, I don't know what it is, but my family, we're not all artists, but we all are creative, and we all are artists in our own way. I would say I do art, brother do music. My 2 other brothers, they do art as well. My father did art. My mother loved to draw. It's just like we're all creative, and it's crazy. My sister did music as well. But she loves fashion. So all of us have this mentality to really get into our creative side and really do art. And I guess we all bounce ideas off of each other. and we all were able to just be the artists that we are today, no matter what kind of artist field we're in. So I was definitely supported, and I definitely support others to do so. Without having this creative background, or without having a family who really supported me, I can 100% say I doubt that I'll be doing art, that I would have been doing art. So if anyone needs support, or if you need someone to just say you could do it, I'm here for y'all, and you could definitely do it. You can pursue art. Do you make money off of your art? Yes, I do. I do not draw for free. This ain't no charity. Art takes a lot of time, a lot of thinking. If anyone ever want to purchase my prints, I do have those for sale at dinadesigning.com. Also, I do commissions for people as well. Logos, flyers, business card templates. I do all of those, so I do charge. But it's not bad. I feel like it's very affordable to get art done by me, so that's not bad. Do you make... Oops, I read that already. What do you want to improve on, aspire to be with your future art? I want this to be hyper-realistic. I see hyper-realistic art all the time on Instagram. I've seen tutorials. They have the same brushes that I have in Procreate, yet their stuff is hyper-realistic. I think it's honestly the time and the effort that you put in your work. You could definitely be better, and I'm learning to try to take my time a little bit more, because who am I really rushing for? Like, my art looks good now, but I want it to be even better. So I really want to improve on focusing on the skin a little bit more, just so I can make everything look hyper realistic. I want to focus on the eyes and add more detail there. These eyes that I drew on this portrait that you guys are seeing, it looks so fake and like dolly like to me. So I really want to focus on making things more realistic. What feelings do you try to express in your art? I try to go for strong or strength. That's usually empowerment, I could say. That's usually what I'm looking for to portray in my art. Especially, I only draw, not only, kind of only draw black females. Growing up, the art that I've seen, it wasn't any black females. I could honestly say the art that I used to draw, they weren't white. The art that I usually draw was non-black woman. And I don't know, going now into only drawing black women, I try to do empowerment, because I want other people to see that we could be the faces of art as well. And we have a voice, honestly. We have a voice, and I feel like artists have a voice, and people can learn a lot from art. So I definitely try to show empowerment through all the pieces that I have. So I focus on mainly black women. You don't see that in art at all, especially when I was growing up. I didn't know that you could draw a black woman, probably why I only sketched instead of actually using color. And since I've learned to use color and different values, it's been history. Like, it's been beautiful. What is your favorite thing to paint and why? Noses. I love noses. That's the most protruding thing on a face, the most 3D realistic thing on a face for me to draw is a nose, and I want to draw noses. That's weird, but I like to draw noses. In the comments down below, let me know what you guys like to draw. I like to draw noses. What's the strangest thing you've painted? I want to say the strangest thing I painted was probably a robot with a butt. It's a robot with a butt with their middle finger up. Yeah, a robot with a butt with their middle finger up. That was the strangest thing. I honestly don't know why I drew it. I think I was bored, or I had to have been watching something with a robot, and that came to mind. Have you ever been hung up after you started a commission, and how did you handle it? Yes. Like I said, I get tons of requests of weird things that I've never drawn before and things that you can't find a reference of. And when I get hung up like that, I honestly have to walk away. I'll take a day or two to actually just focus on something else or to draw something for myself. And then when I come back with a fresh, clear mind, I come up with an even better idea that person presented, and then they end up loving it too. So I definitely try to take breaks, try to move away from the paper and do what I gotta do. And then when I come back, it be a masterpiece, basically. Do you admit that paint smells good? Do paint smell good? Should I go smell some paint? Do paint smell good? I think markers smell good, like Sharpies and permanent markers. Those definitely smell good. What would you tell your younger self? You could do it. Don't worry about nobody else. You could do it. Do your thing. Don't stop doing it. Keep teaching yourself. Again, I feel like art is self-taught. You don't have to go to school for that unless you want to be advertising. That's what I mainly wanted to do. I'll tell my younger self to explore advertising. Little D, go ahead and explore advertising. You'll love it. Yeah, but just never give up. Always embrace everything. Even if you may not like it, trust me, someone else would love it. And yeah, you about to make it, girl. So do what you gotta do. Y'all, and that is it for the artist tag. That was 20 questions. It probably took me like 20 minutes to get through all those questions. But this portrait is almost done. I'm finally gonna be quiet so you guys could just continue watching this if you like. But definitely watch it till the end to see what it comes out to. My favorite part of this whole portrait that I did have to be the hair. But yeah, definitely have to be the hair. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at dbeautyforever. Also follow my art page at dinadesigning. You too can purchase prints that I draw at dinadesigning.com. I'll have everything linked down below. And if you guys have any questions, definitely let me know. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
Girl, you're so hot like summer. Girl, you're so hot like summer. No one can do it like you. Girl, you're so hot like summer, and I don't wanna want that lover. You give me feels when you do. No one can do it like you. Girl, you're so hot like summer. You're everything I ever wanted. You give me feels when you do. No one can do it like you. No one can do it like you. Girl, you're so hot like summer, and I don't wanna want that lover. You give me feels when you do. No one can do it like you. Girl, you're so hot like summer. You're everything I ever wanted. You give me feels when you do. No one can do it like you. No one can do it like you. Girl, you're so hot like summer. Girl, you're so hot like summer. No one can do it like you. Girl, you so hot like summer. Girl, you so hot like summer. No one can do it like you. Girl, you so hot like summer, and I don't wanna want that lover. You give me feels when you do, no one can do it like you. Girl, you so hot like summer, you're everything I ever wanted. You give me feels when you do, no one can do it like you. No one can do it like you. Girl, you so hot like summer.